getting live proteins, little bugs and stuff like that for your chickens during the wintertime, a little difficult. Wintertime, they're not as out as much as like during the summer and spring. So today, I'm going to try to do some mealworm farming and making little containers for them to easily kind of grow them, because it's not a hard process actually. You just need to start with some beetles. How y'all doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing great. Y'all are having a wonderful day. So, a friend of mine at work gave me some mealworm beetles. And of course, got some really funny looks. There's a lot of people at work going, what the heck? But he's got some reptiles at home that he's trying to grow the mealworms for his reptiles. Shauna, we have a bearded dragon. That's a good thing. But we also have the chickens. Shauna made, the little suet cakes to give some extra protein for the chickens during the wintertime. And in the suet cakes, it's little dried mealworms. And they have a lot of protein in there. Of course, a live one, you're going to have more protein, more moisture, and all that kind of stuff. These little bags, they're expensive, And like for me, like I said, I got the beetles given to me. And I'm pretty sure you can order the beetles. I haven't really checked it out yet, but I'm pretty sure you get you a handful or a jar of beetles from online. It wouldn't cost you that much. So it's not a lot of real big startup costs. So we're going to try to show you an easy way and a low cost way to do it. I think the thing that cost me the most was what I'm going to use on the bottom of my little buckets that we're using basically. What I'm just going to use today is a little plastic, I think it's like a shoebox type size. Got them over at Walmart, Walmart World. I think 10 of them was like almost $8. So that's about 80 cents a piece for them. So that's not bad. But you really only need to make one or two with the screen. I'm going to put some hardware cloth, 1/8 inch size holes. I played around with this already, and I wanted to make sure I didn't confuse y'all too much with all the other things I played around with. But I ended up getting the 1/4 inch size, stuff like that, and regular screen, window screen was too fine. And of course the 1/4 inch hardware cloth that you can kind of like easily go get, it was too big. So I think I found something just right now. And it was 1/8 inch size little holes in the hardware cloth. And I'm pretty sure Shauna will leave a link somewhere down below of where we picked that up off of Amazon. Okay, so one of the first things you need to have are the beetles. These are what are the mealworm beetles. And you can see I started using like oatmeal, which is one of the things they can do. They kind of eat on the oatmeal. They'll lay their little eggs in the oatmeal, kind of on the bottom. And a carrot is just something for the moisture. Is what like their water, because you don't need to put like a water dish in here for them. A couple of things for them to be able to, toilet paper rolls or egg cartons or something like that, just for them to kind of crawl around on and things like that. And you can tell that they obviously don't really bite or nothing, because Shauna will actually pick them up.
Yeah, I don't pick up anything that is yucky.
And so I don't think she has any recurring nightmares that
No.
these will actually come and attack her and take her out in the middle of the night, like she has with a lot of other bugs.
Just roaches, but these beetles, they're nice.
So I showed you the beetles, and so now I'll hopefully show you how to easily, I guess, go farming. I tried a few different ways of kind of cutting the bottom out. So far, the best way I think I've found is a little old hot knife I got from Harbor Freight for, I don't know, $15 or something. A multi-tool that, has this little vibration blade on the end. One of those that works pretty good on this. You could use a utility knife. You just got to be careful when you're cutting, not to of course cut yourself with that because of slipping. And it seems sometimes too when you're using that utility knife, as you cut through, I guess the plastic has like little fissures in it or something, and it'll splice off and make a crack or something. So one of the best things I found was a little hot knife, and it can just easily melt around the plastic, and you can kind of guide it around curves, and it works pretty well, and it keeps it pretty clean. So what I'm doing is this is a little lip that's on the bottom of the shoebox, and I'm just going to basically cut that little lip out that, like, I guess holds it off the, keeps it off the ground, I guess, by a quarter of an inch, eighth of an inch. And I'm just going to take that little part out. Just kind of melt right on through there. I mean, it's not super fast to cut with, but, a little pressure, doesn't take much. But it also seems to keep all your edges, not sharp or anything like that. And you can, go around the curves really nice. Of course, kind of do this in a ventilated area. Luckily, I'm in my little future shop that's kind of and it's got all kinds of ventilation right now. So now we have our little box cut out here, and if you can see here, it's got a little bit of a lip right along the edge still to where we can attach some screen. I kind of pre-cut a piece of screen already with So anyway, don't know if you can see that, but fine little holes. So you want to kind of measure it and get it out to where it'll go from, one side to the other. And what I do is I come back and I kind of like 45 the corner, since these corners are a little rounded in the box. So all I do is just trim off to make a little 45 roughly. Ta-da! And then I just went down and got some, these are Truss Phillips self-piercing little screws. The smallest ones I could find were 1/2 inch, so they'll kind of stick out the bottom a little bit, but I guess it gives a little feet, on the bottom. But the reason I got them is because of the big wide screw head on there to hold down the metal. And please don't forget, if you'd like, hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. And definitely always leave us plenty of comments down below on ways that you might have figured out something better. And also, share with everybody you know, because I love just bringing ideas to other people, and mainly also so that other people can also bring me ideas and suggestions on how to do things to make life a little easier. So just a few screws all the way down it. And that hardware cloth, of course, is pretty strong, durable. So now you also need, you cut out the one bottom, but then you'll need another one with the bottom still in it. And the idea is you put this one in here, inside of each other. That way you can put, like, I'm going to use some cornmeal. You put that down as your bottom base for them to crawl around into, lay their eggs, and they'll kind of lay them, and they'll be on the bottom here. So they'll already be going through. You got this little gap you're going to have, so they'll already start laying down in the bottom part. And so that way, all you got to do is pick it up, kind of shake it a little bit, and then all your beetles and your carrot and everything else will all stay up in this one. And then you can just basically transfer it to another empty container. So, got some cornmeal here. Like I said, I've been practicing back and forth. That's why it's already in the bucket. We're using some cornmeal. I think I've heard using wheat bran, it's supposed to work pretty good. I think you just need to wear a mask or something around it maybe, because the fibers, the wheat bran might get in your lung. I don't know, something like that. But something fine that'll actually go through the screen, but not allow the beetles, of course, to go through. So we just dump in some cornmeal. And you don't need to add egg or water or anything like that to it, just straight dry cornmeal.
We're not making cornbread.
You're not making a cornbread, you're just making a spot for the beetles to eat and lay eggs. So you got a nice little layer down there. And now we'll bring over Mr. and Mrs. Beetle. And by the way, I still have not known how to tell the difference between a boy beetle and a girl beetle. If you know, let me know. But see, they really like the carrot. That's where they get their moisture from, to drink, plus they eat it. And I still have some oatmeal still mixed in with all this.
That's fine.
But it'll work. If you've got other pets, or, you know, the possibility of, you know, spilling it or something, use a lid. And when you buy these at Wallet World, they come with lids. And they'll snap on. But of course, they need to breathe. So my plan is to use a 1/4 inch drill bit, something small, and just make a few holes through the center part of this diagram that's on this lid. And remember, don't put it on your leg to drill through. Try to find a better surface. Alright, so that probably looks like enough holes. It's probably not going to be super strong to hold everything in if it fell over, but it keep off any other bugs or your cat, I don't know, playing with it, thinking it's a sandbox.
Kids.
Maybe. I don't know, your kids playing around in it and eating them. After you put them all in here, give it about, I believe, about 10 to 14 days, and then you'll want to try to pull it out to sift, because that's about how long it takes. You just kind of sift it around. That way you have all your beetles and everything there. And then underneath, you'll put this to the side, because there should hopefully be a bunch of little eggs in there. And you'll want to throw you like a little carrot into this, because this is where all your little mealworms will hatch at. And they'll be tiny. And like I said, about 10 to 14 days. And then they should be back. Now, then you can just take your new one, put it on there. You can add some more cornmeal, probably directly on top of it. But now, the buckets you've got after you sifted them, in, I believe it's another 10 to 14 days, the eggs will be hatching. And then you can sift out and feed them to your critters or anything like that. But then they also go through their pupa stage, which is
Cocoon.
like a little cocoon. And when you find those in with your mealworms, you'll take them out. And it seems like the smoke from my stove over there is coming over here in front of me. But you'll take those little cocoons, basically.
Pupa.
Pupa. What about pupa with the worms?
No.
No. But anywho, the little cocoons. Set them in a little, just, I don't know, have another container just to throw them into there.
You can have a little baby food jar or something.
Or another little small container just to put them in. And then they'll hatch into beetles. And then you just take your beetles and you'll just put them back in with your other beetles. So that you'll get more beetles. And the cycle kind of goes on and on. From also my understanding is don't keep this in cold areas. Keep this in, you know, warmish type areas. The warmer you keep it, the quicker they kind of hatch, the quicker they kind of grow, because they kind of like a little bit of warmth like that. Don't tell Kane now, but I'm planning on making him some, but just with a bigger toad, because he's the one that gave you the beetles. So, like I said, don't tell him. It's going to be a surprise. But I'm giving him a bigger toad, making a bigger toad out of it, because, and of course, as your little farm grows, just like mine's a small farm right now. I can use these little boxes, and for my space purposes, but you know, the more and more you get, the bigger area you can make. If you try this, let me know. Leave comments down below. If you've got better ways that you've done it or seen or heard anybody else do it, let me know too, because I'd like to be able to kind of successfully do this to feed out to the chickens, you know, a good handful here and there as a treat during the wintertime. would be great. Oh, and also for our little Draco, our bearded dragon. So, if you like what you're seeing, please give us a little thumbs up. We'd love it. All right. Y'all have a great, wonderful day. Y'all be careful. Have a good one. Can't wait to see y'all next time.